My Christmas wish is to bring kingdom to the US soil. Was that hard to ask? The last chapter may not be for everyone, but it is vital. The feud between Hoken and Shin was simple as two men want to dominate over personal reasons, whether it is out of revenge for the fallen or put an end to their long journey. The stakes have never been so high. With the inclusion of Hoken's backstory, the battle, assumedly to be the grand finale, has become the most epic one yet. Personally, I enjoyed the backstory and find the Path Seekers and his goal interesting. It did sound far-fetched, but there are people that will go through this length to prove a point. It did provide a different light towards Hoken's character without really damaging it. It's simply a way to justify his action, but it doesn't mean we have to agree with it. In fact, the opening of the chapter practically reflects the fans' viewpoint with one man confessing. Although the story touched their heart, it's hard to buy the thought and intention of Hoken trying to save the world. I recall some fans believe it to be ridiculous, and that's fine. Horror Sensei isn't trying to convince us to think he's the coolest guy ever. But if you do, then by all means. The point is to justify his persona and how he is completely consumed by the path. The path to be a Bushin. As I stated before, dedicated to one goal can lead a man to a dark journey. For those who felt displeased with less action material last time, then the good news is, this chapter not only delivers an enticing action, but is purely stellar. From the moment of the chapter's title, with the hard swing by Hoken, the exhilarating ride doesn't stop. Once again, Horror Sensei is great at choreographing the action, bringing out the intense sensation and gripping storyboard. Shin gets knocked badly by the swing, alarming everyone that his life is in peril. Luck or not, he gets back up in time to block. It was a hell of a rush for that sequence alone. It intensified when Hoken pushes Shin down with his glaive. That's just insane. Speaking of insane, Shin narrowly escapes the killing blow just by a hair. I know he's the protagonist and he won't die, but I'll be lying if I say my heart wasn't pounding quickly. The air breathing come to a screeching halt. When Shin takes a real bad slash to the chest region, I was close to be convinced that he was going to be cut in half. The thought of plot armor somehow flew off my head. That's a sign of great investment. Clearly, I was completely sold. Fortunately, he wasn't cut in half, but enough to knock him down. The whole page of interpreted defeat is such a downer. Thankfully, the following page is such an inspiration. Shin getting back up after what could have been the end is awe-inspiring. The blood and armor pieces coming down and seeing the back only is all you need to know. The incredible willpower. Hoken's backstory greatly benefits this battle. While it maintains the foundation of two greatest opposing forces, it did gain a new meaning. Since Hoken represents mankind according to Rebiko, Shin, however, represent mankind as well, or more accurately, they, as in humanity. It may feel like shonen, but the impact is well pronounced. It's better with the inclusion of all humanity. That way, the fans can look at the battle as a representation of mankind. What is the righteous belief? It's not that Shin is the chosen one, but he's the most capable opponent for Hoken, opposing threat for his path. The weight has grown tenfold with the belief on the line. Needless to say, this battle has become deeper, and I'm loving every moment of it. The most jarring scene is when Shin blocks Hoken equally. It sounds kind of funny without context, but when you have invested for such a long time, the moment will be monumental. The spread with the block is remarkable to look at, almost surreal to be honest. What I really like is how the illustration of Hoken's glaive has become normal to the eyes. Normally it's drawn to be the most devastating weapon of all time. Once Shin blocks it, no longer does it feel as weighty. It's like seeing a monster on movies as a kid. Once you learn the effect, it's no longer scary. The moment gets even better. If blocking equally wasn't unbelievable enough, Shin actually begins to overpower Hoken. That's no exaggeration. I was honestly amazed and shocked. Made it face with a huge gasp. It somehow gets even better when Hoken sees a shadow behind Shin. The shadow of Oki. That panel is amazing. Just amazing. This has to be the endgame. It can't recapture the greatness like this, though I could be wrong. Hoken wasn't having it, so he shoves him back and kicks with sheer force. Then he goes completely mad, trying to kill with crap load of attacks while Shin is on the ground. I got tons of chills. Shin is barely holding on, but damn, it becomes unsettling when it looks like he's losing conscience. It's been over 600 chapters. Yet Shin somehow managed to bring the underdog spirit that can easily get fans rooting for him. All hopes appear to be lost, but amazingly, Shin gets back up and parries the hard swing on his knee. This is one of the reasons why this series continues to sell like hotcakes, let alone easily gets boosted. I love the reversal with Hoken being so bewildered at Shin's performance, asking, "What are you?" If you recall before, Shin asked the same thing to Hoken prior to the epic battle. What I also love is Shin's response. The previous chapter did insert more depth to the battle, but the foundation left unharmed. Shin is not there to prove humanity is correct with the way things are or become their lord and savior. He's here today, alive and kicking, because he's the great general of the heavens. Wonderful. That's how it should be. Simple yet engaging. Nothing has changed. Shin is Shin. Better with the utmost confidence on his goal status. For it to be the volume closer, it couldn't end better. This was an outstanding chapter. The action was top-notch quality. Trust me, I could only summarize and react here. But the artwork, the storyboard, the narrative, and so forth were magnificent. I read it so many times, and each time, I'm still appalled on what I just witnessed. Shin vs. Hoken has been brilliant so far, loving every second of it. I believe Horror-sensei will deliver the overall tremendously. Whether it ends this year or the next, the future is greatness. And that will do it for the review. I hope you enjoyed this one. The holiday is around the corner, so that means the series will go on a long break. It's likely gearing up for an epic cliffhanger, so get ready for anything. What do you think of this chapter? Share your thoughts in the comment section. If you like this and want more of this, subscribe to my channel, and my world will be yours to stay. Until next time, take care.